Hello and welcome. This is Dawn Colby with Dawn's Early Inkings. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Durham, North Carolina. Welcome. I am joined today by my two felines, Josh and Acadia. Josh, you may or may not be able to see him here on the right side of the screen, but he may make an appearance because he's on the table with me here. Not that I like it, but I will deal. I love my kitties. Okay, so tonight I have another card video for us to do. But first things first, if you are new to my channel, welcome. This is probably one of my first 6 or 7. So I'm still new to doing this, but I'm having a good time so far with it. If any of you out there don't have a demonstrator and need a mini catalog or the annual catalog, please let me know. Dawn's Early Inkings at gmail.com is how you can get in touch with me, or you can go to dawnsearlyinkings.com and request a catalog there. I would love to earn your business if you need any of the supplies from tonight's card. Actually, I'm going to have some additional cards to show you at the end. But if you need any supplies, please feel free to visit my online store. I would appreciate it. So before we get started on the card, I just wanted to show you something that is coming up from Stampin' Up! This is a preview of a product. Let's see, can you see that? I think you can. This stamp set called Eden's Garden is coming out. It will be available for customers to order on November 2nd. It will be in the January to June 2022 mini catalog. But it's going to be available for customers to order on November 2nd. It's a really pretty set. It is a red rubber set. I already have cat hair on it. Right, Josh? It's very pretty. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but it is something that I think will be very pretty. Real quick, I'll show you I'll thumb through the designer paper. It's specialty paper, so it has some gold foiling in it, I guess. So that's the back side of the paper. And I'll just show you these quick. That's the back. Whoops. I skipped one. Hang on. That's the back side. I kind of like this one. It's kind of generic. We'll go with anything. Masculine, feminine. Here's another one. This is really pretty too with that piece. This one has little gold dots in it. This one might actually be good for Christmas. And then there's a ombre piece of paper. This one has pretty gold foiling in it, and then that again is more of a generic back. Then this one, which also might be good for Christmas, and there's that one, which again is kind of generic. I want to show you that before we get started. Tonight we are focusing on an old favorite of mine that is in the annual catalog. It is the Love of Leaves stamp set. It's actually on page 115 of the annual catalog. And you've seen me do cards with this set before. If you've visited my blog, I did some last year when this stamp set was out. I really love this stamp set, so that's why I wanted to use it again. And I have some alternatives that I will show you at the end of the video. I know I said that the last time I did a video. This time I really will show them to you. Excuse me. Throat scratchy. So, all right. So these we are also using, in addition to the stamp set, we are also using the dies that go with it. As well as the seasonal labels dies, which are found on page 18 of the July to December 2021 mini catalog. These label dies are fabulous. Many uses for them. And they don't have to be for Christmas. They could be for anything. Okay. So let me get those out of the way. Put those back in my drawer. How you doing, Josh? You still hanging with me, bud? Okay. He's still right here. So we are going to, using Cherry Cobbler cardstock, all the measurements and the details, I will have written instructions on my blog, dawnsearlyinkings.com. But this is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. I have scored it at 4 1/4. I'm going to have a layer of 4 by 5 1/4 inch garden green. Then we are going to sponge on this piece of basic white, but I will also be cutting it down so it fits. I like to sponge and then cut down some of the edges because sometimes the edges are not pretty. If you're sponging, sometimes the edges get a little rough, and so they're not real pretty. So I like to cut those off. Then we're going to use a scrap of Cherry Cobbler for the label, and then this is for the inside of the card. Just a regular 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white, and then this is just scrap for the 3 leaves and the label that we are going to die cut out. We are also going to be using some of this Cherry Cobbler and gold ribbon, which is very pretty, and basic rhinestones, and again the sponge blending brushes. I don't know why I want to call them sponge brushes, but I'd seem to. Blending brushes. Yes. I think my cat's absconded with my red one because thankfully I had a fresh, clean one that I could use for my red earlier today that I could do this card with. Okay, so I'm going to move most of this stuff out of the way. That's the inside of my card. That's for the label. This is for the sponge. We're going to do the sponging first. We're actually going to do 2 different types of sponging. We're going to use the sponge. Sorry, we're going to use the blending brushes, and we're also going to use some sponge daubers. Okay, so what I did, and we're going to be using, sorry, I didn't tell you the colors. Crushed Curry, Garden Green, Cherry Cobbler, and Cajun Craze. Seems to be my fall go-to color combo. So we're going to kind of do the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, Roy G, as in Roy G. Biv. We all know him or may know of him. I feel like I relearned that lesson later in life. I think I missed something in art class. Who knows? Okay. So we're going to start with our red sponge blending brush. Sorry. All right. And Josh happens to love this part when I do it, so I don't know what his reaction is going to be tonight. Yep, he's there hanging out. Right, Josh? So basically, I'm just going to lightly, you've seen me sponge before. It's kind of relaxing if you don't have a lot of sponging to do. And I'm doing it where you can see it. Okay, good. All right, I think that's good there. Close that one for now. And I'll take the orange, my designated orange sponge, and again, we're just going to blend the 2 together there. Right, Josh? All right. Then we're going to take the yellow or crushed curry in this case. You could use a different yellow, I guess, if you wanted to. Like I said, these are kind of my go-to colors for fall. Again, fall is my favorite season, so I'm trying to go easy on the Christmas cards because, quite frankly, I'm not feeling Christmas yet. Or the holidays. So And I know that the holidays are tough for a lot of people, and I don't want to rush it, so I won't. All right, so we're getting some green here at the bottom. I hope everybody had a great World Card Making Day and that you've sent those cards out that you made. I actually have a birthday card that I should have sent out week before last, and I still need to send that out. And every time I think about it, I'm not in a position to send it. So, but I did have a couple folks over for World Card Making Day, and we had a good time making some cards. Fun day had by all. Alright, I am just going to use what's on the blending brush here. Just kind of blending those in a little bit. There we go. Oh, nope. Sorry, Josh. Okay, so done with the sponging. So this layer is done except for needing to trim it. So we are going to trim it to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And hopefully that is the right measurement. I'm going to do this one down here. Just because because the cat's in the way, basically. Right, Josh? Oh, Brat. Little beast. Okay, just to make sure. Yes, that is how I wanted that. I just wanted the thin border going around it. Okay. So for this next part, I'm going to do the 3 leaves next. So I have my leaf stamp, and it's clean. So this is going to use the sponge. So we're done with the blending brushes, but now we're going to use the sponge daubers. So I'm going to take my lightest color, which is the crushed curry, and ink up my stamp. Don't get too excited, you. Talking to the cat, sorry. Alright, let me open all my ink pads. So I do have a sponge dauber for every one of my colors. Seems a bit excessive, but it does come in handy for projects like this. So let's see, what do I want to do first? I'm going to do, I think I've do my Cajun craze first. And I'm just going to go along the side here. I'm not going to do all 3 leaves with you guys. I'm just going to do 1. I've already got 3 prepared because I realized that your time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable. So I figured I would pre-prep, and that way cut down and let you get to actually stamping instead of watching me. Okay, so, and before I do that, I'm going to take the mouse pad out of my Stamparatus and use that to stamp on, just to get a better image because it is photopolymer. Alright, so far enough from the edge to where I get the whole die. Oh, that's beautiful. Sorry. I just like that gum. The other ones didn't come out that well, I don't think. This one I can close. That one. And that one. Okay. So the other thing I want to do is ink up this thank you that is also in this set and stamp that right there. Ah, very good. Because I want to use my little die cut machine, I'm going to trim around this cardstock. It's easier to put that in the video. Okay, so here she is. I know it's not as zoomed in, but it will help you to see what I'm doing. So I'm using these two oak leaf, maple leaf, I think they're oak leaves. I live in the city of Oaks. I guess I should know what an oak leaf looks like, huh? Or I lived in the city of Oaks. I live near the city of Oaks, which is Raleigh, for those of you who are not familiar with the area. You can do it in one pass. I have a harder time doing it in one pass. I'm going to do it in two passes. Actually, let me cut it out first. And usually to line up the stem, I notice it has to be kind of in the middle, and I may not have lined it up quite. Hi, honey. Hi, Josh. No, bud. This is Mama's time. Oops. See, and I just... Usually I use Post-it tape. I'm trying not to do that today, but I may. There we go. All right. Okay, so that was cut out. Put that aside. And then this just goes over here. And basically what this does is just cuts these little lines out, sort of like embossing. I'm going to call it embossing for lack of a better term. It's not really embossing, it's just putting little tiny cut lines. And in fact, where's my take your pick tool? Yoo-hoo, take your pick tool. And if you can hear that, that is a train going by. Just to let you know. Okay, so sometimes, because this gets stuck in the, so I just like to, there we go. Sharp little blades there. So that's the leaf. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. The cat is not being cooperative. He usually gets down, but I don't have the heart to make him get down. I pushed him away earlier. Not pushed, but, you know, made him get down, and he was not happy with me. Or you, bud. You're so spoiled. You and your sister. Okay, so there's the thank you. So then we're going to take our scrap of cherry cobbler cardstock. Josh, the die's not for you to abscond with. No. No. Bud, no. I love you, but no, sweetheart. No, sweetheart. No. I'm sorry, guys. All right. All right, so this next part is interesting. So I'm going to take and put those aside. Okay, yes, you can see what I'm doing. So we have these little slits that are in the die set. There's two of them. And basically it cuts a slit here in the label. So it's basically a matter of lining them up, trying to make them as even as you can. I think that'll work. Shoot, it shifted. All right, sorry if this isn't in view. I'm just rearranging them to put them back. Okay, I think I finally have that lined up the way I want it. We're gonna go with it. Okay, and take that. Off gently. Take that off gently. So I think, yes, we are done with this. I can put it there. All right. So now, sorry, I just adjusted that a little bit. Okay. Move that out of your way, sir. Okay, so we're gonna stick that, centering it as best we can. And then we're gonna glue our sponged piece down. Okay. Adhesive is not playing nice today. Did I not? I thought, let's see. Bye, Josh. Okay. Not even, but we're not sweating it. Probably the cutter did something wrong there, but that's okay. Oh, shoot. You know what? That should have been a sign to me that I was doing something wrong. Okay, we're going to leave that unstuck for just a minute. Goodness. Okay. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this ribbon and it doesn't really matter. Both sides are the same. I don't think it matters which one is which. In other words, I don't think there's a right side and a wrong side. I guess it's whichever one you like better. Get that little bit of adhesive there. Okay. I found this was the easiest way to do this. You could probably loop it around somehow, go, you know, loop it that way, go back around, but, and actually, no, I'm just going to do once. I'm sticking with the plan. It's my plan and I'm sticking to it. Sticking with it. All right, I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive down there. It's going to get covered up, so nobody's going to know it's there. All right, just have a little bit. Let's see. Just try to make those even going across. I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to take these little tiny mini dimensionals. I just like to stick 3. You don't have to put this on dimensionals. The ribbon is really thin. I like the look of it. And let's see, try to get that as even as I can. Again, It's all kind of subjective. All right. So now, oh, you know, I really messed up when I did that. Let's get my silicone craft sheet out. Stick that down there. Oh, yay. All right. So these are the 3 leaves that I did beforehand. This is the one I did just in the video. So I'm going to keep that one. Let's see. I like that. I like that one. And I like that one. Okay. So I'm going to stick this one down. And I'm going to stick this one down. It doesn't matter which one you put in the center. I just like to pop up the one in the center. Okay, I'm trying to kind of even here. There we go. Put some regular dimensionals. Am I even in the screen? There we go. Sorry. Still a work in progress. Okay. Put that kind of up there. And that didn't stick, did it? Sure did not. Tell you what, let's try. Let's try a glue dot. So I put a glue dot there to hopefully keep this thank you and the ribbon a little more nailed down to where I want it. Kind of centered. Let's see. Yep, that seems to have done a little more of the trick. So then we're going to put some dimensionals here. Okay, I'll just put 4. Oops. Probably only needed 2, but 3, 4. And let's see. There we go. We're going to take and flip this over. Stick that down. Trim this off. Okay. Let's bring the card back in. Make sure I've got it right side. I have. Yay. Okay, there we go. All right. And then I'm going to bring in some rhinestones. This is the pack, but I've got some that I had from a class that I'm going to use just so that I can use these up. Taking my dark cherry cobbler Stampin' blend, and I'm coloring that in with the brush tip. Words are very hard. Okay. Stick one there. Put one there. Put one there. One there and one there. Whoops. Now I gotta cover that little red mark I made. So those are the cards I made. This one you can see that I ink blended it a little deeper. Doesn't really matter. So let me show you. So this is the one. So get the rest of the stuff out of the way here. There we go. Okay. So let me just show you my progression. I really like to do this. I think it's interesting for me to know how other people come up with stuff. So I don't mind showing you guys. All right. So I sent the picture of this card to my mom and said, just give me your honest opinion. Tell me what you think. And she said the exact same thing I said. She said, it's too busy. So what I did here was I did the same thing with the sponging. This is the Pattern Play Stamps Designer Series paper, the Host or Hostess pack you can purchase with Hostess Reward dollars. It's a really huge, it's like 48 sheets of Designer Series paper. And there's the side on each page. It has black and white on the other side. So I tried to use the paper and I really liked it. But I think between coloring the leaves like I did the same sponging as I did in the card I just made. And then the happy birthday being the two colors, it just does make it kind of busy. So I said, yeah, that's not really one I think I want to show. I'm showing it to you though for just purposes of seeing it. So the next one I came up with was this one. And this one I used, I stamped the leaves in Versamark. And then I did pastels, the Poppin' Pastels technique, where you take a sponge dauber and you take the chalk, and I shaved off some of the chalk onto a plastic container, and then I dipped the sponge dauber into the chalk, and then I dabbed over where I had stamped in Versamark, and that's what makes those colors. And then I used this die to make the leaf marks on the leaves. Very pretty card, kind of light for my taste, and I think this is a poppy color. I think that's Daffodil Delight. That's Mossy Meadow. So I colored the ribbon with my, it's a white ribbon. I colored it with my Mossy Meadow blend, Cajun Craze cardstock. I think it's a really pretty card. It's kind of a messy looking card to me. If you really look at the background, you kind of get some chalk residue from doing the technique. But I really like the card overall. I think it's pretty. It just wasn't, yeah. And then the other card I made was this one, where I did the sponging, but before I sponged, I embossed in white embossing powder. And then when I sponged, I wiped off the ink off of the resist. And because of the type of stamps they are, where they're not solid, that's why you see the variation color here. And then I just did 3 single color leaves, and then I used a different label from the Tasteful, the Tasteful Labels dies. And I used the sentiment from a Sunny Sentiments. That's what that's from. So that was my kind of my evolution of then to now. So tell me which one you like the best. This one is obviously my favorite, but I do like this one, and this one is okay. I think the white is maybe too white. Maybe that needs vanilla. But in any event, this is our card. So that is all for today. I really, really appreciate you guys joining me. If you got some value out of this video, if you hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would do that. That does help me. You can ring the notification bell as well to get notifications when I post videos. I am trying to post on Tuesdays. Sometimes I skip a Tuesday if things get really busy, because I do have a full-time job in addition to Stampin' Up. So unfortunately, sometimes things get in the way, life gets in the way. But I really enjoy doing these videos, and I want to keep doing them. So I appreciate everybody watching, and thank you again for your time. And if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like to place an order, please feel free to visit my online store. You can go to my blog to get to my store. And I'm going to stop with the commercial and let you guys go. I hope you all have a good week. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.